He says, what is in Mr. Odinga's affidavit is not what I submitted to the party. They decide, we're not going to respond to that. But we expect the court somehow to determine that there were fraudulent Form 34As. Is this right? Let's go to the next slide. What is in Mr. Odinga's affidavit? Look at the last column. It says, for Raila Amolo Odinga, 244 votes. For Mr. William Samoei Ruto, 38. What happened to the other votes? Something is fundamentally wrong. And this is just one document. We have filed other affidavits which illustrate what happened here. Let's look at the next slide. The law requires the IEBC to deliver certain forms. I'd invite the court to look at the form for this particular location, this particular polling station, and see whether what has been set out in Mr. Odinga's affidavit is correct. Let's go to the last slide. What then are we telling you? The numbers between the IEBC portal, the IEBC presiding officer, the UDA agent, the Azimio agent, and the Form 34A from Bomas are all aligned. Question we must ask is, where did the form that is presented by Mr. Odinga come from? Arnold Odinga, so that we do not mix up names. I think this must be what the late Issa Juma of Super Wanyika had in mind when he penned the words, sisi twajua anafanya biashara, lakini biashara anajua mwenyewe. Only Mr. Odinga can tell us where this came from. And the other 40, they are not part of what was actually the product of the people expressing their will. So, in a nutshell, even without trying to demonstrate to you how the other irregularities and alleged infringements of the law have not affected the law, the petitioners fall far short of what is expected. But let me look at one or two things, because one of the things that has really featured a lot, and I'm going to try and avoid rehashing what has been said by the other lawyers, is that the commissioners have a significant role. That what 138(3)(c) means is that the commissioners, the 7 men and women, have to be involved in the exercise that is to be undertaken. With respect, this submission is skewed by a failure to interpret the Constitution correctly. I think it's long been settled that the Constitution, the interpretation of the Constitution, looks both at the text and the context. And what has happened